How do you ensure that when you're working with these different teams that they have the same and a correct mental model about how operations behave? Do you have basic lean training? Do people go through some sort of operation science type training? How does that work?
Basically, we use our business systems, as I said, and you have different ways to analyze if the sites are behaving the same way. We have, I would say, annual operation assessment where we check the adherence to the process. We have the same standard visual management. We have some regular activities to reinforce the process, and we are all the time assessing how the sites are behaving. And for sure, we have a list of actions to back on track if needed, if something is doing something in a different way.
And those when we're talking about the standard systems, when you're looking at projects, are projects do they have a regular reporting cycle? So for instance, you set up a project and you think it's going to take 8 weeks. Does Is there a report out every week or every 2 weeks? How does that work?
Considering continuous improvement projects, what we have is a standard calendar for all the sites. So every week they have some critical points to be discussed. If you're talking about a needle mover project, for example, they needed to do this more often. And for sure, we have other, not less important is the word, but it's not critical like a needle mover ones, but they can track according to the criticity, the timeline, the impact on the P&L, and L, and so on. But basically, every week we have some projects review.
Yeah, that I found that to be so true. The other thing I found about reporting is, particularly when you start on a project, it's always more effective to have more rapid reporting at the beginning, and then maybe as things settle in, it doesn't have to be, so maybe twice a week when you get started, and then as things settle in and people understand what's going on, maybe then once a week. And to your point, some projects, there's a lot of work going on. They don't have to report every week, maybe, every 2 weeks. But yeah, it sounds like you have a pretty well organized approach to that. But definitely keeping up with what's going on and requiring people to update, I think, is important. So, what does when you're working with these teams, having worked in corporate companies and worked both in frontline operations and in the corporate organization. I know when I was working in the corporate organization, you would go to a site and you say, "We're from corporate, we're here to help." And people kind of would roll their eyes like, "Oh my gosh, here they come again." How do you make sure that people see that you're really there as support and not as outside interference?
Uh, this bad situation happened in sometimes. I would say that few time ago when we were starting this journey. But the most important is to be aligned to the site. Why we are there? Because they live their challenges, that issues daily. They know the process much more than us from corporate, from the business. And the point is, we are fresh eyes there. We are there to help. We are there to support, not to take the decisions, but to be more hands-on, or to bring them benchmark solutions as you have visibility from other sites as well, right? But the key word here would be alignment.